Brian, good to see you.
How's it going? How are things?
Moved to 145 this time. How have you found it preparing for this weight?
Yeah, well, I've been at 145 for a lot of my career. It's really good to be back. I feel fantastic. I've definitely hit much better levels in training, in every aspect. But the camp has been about martial arts. It's been about development rather than a number on a scales, and that feels much better. But I feel physically very strong, and I feel like highly skilled. I feel the best version of myself by a mile. So excited.
How do you think that'll show itself in the cage on Saturday?
Well, look, I've given myself every possibility to put in the best performance in my career, and I feel like that's going to come on Saturday. I think you're going to all see it, but nothing matters until the bell goes. So let's push on for that. 2
wins on the spin. You're looking for 3 in a row now. Do you feel like you're getting back to those pre-2021 levels when you had the tough times? Do you think you're getting back to that now?
I feel like I'm progressing with every fight. Sometimes like fights don't go your way. That's just part of the sport. That's like any sport. But I feel like I'm putting them well. I'm putting good performances. The last performance wasn't my best, but I still came away with the win, which was important. But I'm excited. I'm feeling excellent.
Brian, I see a lot of the fighters around here, and they've been here for the last few days in the hotel and stuff, and I saw you yesterday in your own gym preparing at home. How good is that to be able to do that?
Unreal. I love it. Yesterday I got my training in the AM. I brought the kids to school, was there for them when they got out of there, spent the day with them. But then, with me and Cormac, we headed up to Dublin. It was business time then, but it was great. That's what we call that the lab. That's where we put all our work in. So it was nice getting that last session in.
Obviously, it's a big time for the country sporting-wise, with the World Cup being on and everything like that. And you always talk about being, having pride and representing the flag. How great is it to be part of that as well in a big sporting weekend for Ireland?
Amazing. It's something I have dreamt of. Represent my country. Ever since I was a kid, I remember playing hurling, and in school, one of my classmates came up and we're playing a match on whatever Saturday or whatever, and I couldn't believe it. I was couldn't be more joyous, and now I'm getting to do it at a professional level for representing Ireland. It's amazing.
How have you noticed the difference in preparations for this fight, not having to keep an eye on the weight all the time? Were you able to up, I suppose, the software, as you call it, easier this time because of that?
Far more. I walk around at 170, so getting the bantamweight is a struggle, and I feel like the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze in the sense of my performances and how I felt and my recovery. When I do something, I don't do it by halves. I got my blood work done and analysed in both camps, and it was like night and day. So that was the main reason, that was the main kicker to put me into a better position and to be a better athlete, not just to be a better weight cutter. But we've seen everything develop from a grappling, striking perspective, conditioning, you name it. We've more than ticked the box. I felt like I used that phrase a lot, tick the box. But that was kind of what I was doing, because I was pulling myself into sessions while I was jumping into sessions for this camp.
Obviously, you've had a good bit of time now to look at Otto. The fight was announced a good while ago.
Yeah.
What do you think of him as an opponent now, with a bit more tape study and a bit more preparation on your own side?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's someone that excites me. Like when you're a mixed martial artist and you want to fight at the highest level, you want to fight the best guys. This guy's on a 12-fight win streak. The motivation is to snap that win streak. He's good, but I'm better, and I'm going to show that. But yeah, all credit to him, and we'll see on Saturday night how it goes. Thank you.
Hi Brian, obviously the Irish fighting scene, it's starting to really come alive. I was just wondering, what do you think about some of the prospects coming through and kind of where we are as a nation in the fighting game?
Yeah, we're always doing well, and you can see it now across multiple promotions and on the local scene too. I think we're phenomenal as a small nation. And what the coaches and what fighters are doing in Ireland is huge, and I think it's just going to keep progressing. It's always impressive to see the younger guys coming up. It's always impressive to see, the development, from an amateur and a professional, what they're doing. So let's onwards and upwards. Nice t-shirt, Graham.
Thanks. Obviously, Otto Rodriguez, he has only fought once in the last 5 years, but he has a pretty good record going back a lot of years. Have you looked at any of his old fights, or do you consider them just irrelevant? They're so old, or?
No, there's always tendencies and traits, and this is not a dig at him, but like you look at his last fight, he looked good. But you look at his fight 5 years ago and 6 years ago, he looked good. He just he's a solid guy, very good heavy top game. His strength is his strength. He's physically a big guy. That's why you see me sparring with the likes of Dara Kelly, who's pretty fucking big for a featherweight, isn't he? But pretty big for a lightweight. But you know, he is good. You know, but yeah, I've been looking at a lot of his tape. I feel like I have his number. But again, the bell has to go on Saturday night, and I have to go out and perform, and that's what I plan on doing.
There's recently a lot of your fights seem to be kind of really good guys that are unknown, that are kind of flying under the radar, that maybe even if you beat them, don't really do that much for you in terms of making a statement. Yeah. Have you been frustrated with that? Do you think you've kind of earned a bigger name? Yeah, well, look at that's kind of I knew I'd get that question. I always get those questions, but like that's not in my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is to train, to make weight, and to fight and perform. And like I can only do what I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing the right things. I'm pushing promos. I'm fucking putting on good performances. So, you know, keep winning the can't ignore. That's my take on it. And yeah, the guys I'm fighting are great. Add up their records. You know what I mean? They're very good. But I'm doing very well. And I think this new move to featherweight, I'm going to even do much better.
Patrick? Hang on, Patrick.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Right. Otto's debut has been long awaited. What do you expect from him? And you know, him not having fought for 2 years. How much of your tape study has been, or how much of the attempt has been rooted in tape study? And do you expect any differences from what you have seen and what you will see on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think if you don't study tape, and I've been guilty of it in the past myself, you're not utilising all your advantages. So I have studied him. Like I said, he's a good wrestler. He's a good top game guy. He has some good strikes as well. But every fight that he fights, he looks quite similar. I can't see him going out and throwing spinning wheel kicks or being a southpaw anytime soon. I think he's going to be bringing the same kind of pressure in your face, grappling style. But you know, we've worked very hard on that, but we've worked hard on all aspects. I feel I can out-grapple him. I can feel I can out-strike him. So, you know, I'm excited. He's a great opponent, and that's what excites me. I want to fight the best in the world.
And your last 3 fights have been in Dublin. How special has that been? How excited are you to get back out there?
I think I got that. Can you actually say
One more time?
Your last 3 fights have been in Dublin. How special has that been? How excited are you to get back in front of that crowd again?
It's amazing. It's absolutely... it's very hard to explain how unbelievable an experience it is, and it's something that each time now I come up to Dublin, I try to be very present with it, because, you know, careers don't last forever, especially in sports, and you know, you want to make the most of it. You know, every time I bump into the Bellator guys or anything, I make that walk for the Irish crowd. I'm very, very privileged to do so. And there's another opportunity on Saturday night, so I'll be present, and and I'm excited to do so yet again.
Thank you.
Santiago?
Hi Brian, thank you for the time. It's an SBG party at Bellator 299 on Saturday. And I heard you say that you did your camp with Dara. How was the energy in the gym? And is there always a good camaraderie between the John Kavanagh boys?
Always. You know, I'm part of SBG for over a decade now, and it's always amazing. But yeah, it was a kind of a different camp, because I was with the bigger boys this time. My main training partners were Dara, Pedro, Peter, the bigger boys, and you know, rather than all of the bantamweights I would have previously been with. So it was different, but it was super enjoyable. Everyone was just on top form for this one, and I think if that's any indication to go by, it'll be a big night for SPG.
So is that normally something you don't do? Train with the heavier guys? Was it more tough, or how would you explain that?
No, I actually really enjoyed it. I felt back to myself. At bantamweight, the camps were tough because, like, you know, recovery just isn't there. Injuries are more prevalent, and I felt like a bit frail and fragile coming into a lot of sessions. But this one, I felt like a little tractor. I felt like I couldn't be stopped. So it was good mixing it up with the bigger boys. They got a bit of a fright, I think, but it was nice.
So Bellator is showing Ireland a lot of love with 2 events every year, which is pretty special. Do you appreciate this from the company, and why do you think they love Dublin so much?
I think if you look at any of my interviews, I'm always very appreciative of Bellator. You know, they've given me a career in this sport to provide for my family and then some, which is amazing, and to showcase all the hard work I've put into this sport. But they love Ireland because, like, we've the best fans in the world, hands down, pound for pound. The arena is always electric, and like I said in a couple of questions ago, like, it's an absolute privilege to walk in front of that crowd. It's unbelievable. It's something like, it's deathbed shit. That's one of the things you'll think of on your last moments, is walking in front of that crowd in the Tree Arena.
Thank you so much for the time. Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Brian.